blueberries are just starting to come out here. As you can see, most of them are not ripe. They're just starting. Here's the wild strawberries. And as you can see, they're not ripe yet either. Here's one that's nearly ripe. Hey YouTubers, Muskrat Jim here, and welcome to part 2 of what I learned from the Alone Show on the History Channel. Okay, so we'll let that boil and we'll make some tea once it's ready. Okay, so I've heard that the History Channel has already picked its 10 contestants for the second show, or the second season rather, of the Alone Show. Now, I don't know if they're going to put it out in the Pacific Northwest again in the fall like they did the current season, but I think they should really change it up a bit, just to keep the show interesting. Like if they went to the boreal forests of northern Ontario in the summertime, there would be, well, there'd certainly be black bears to contend with, and wolves, coyotes. But I think one of the biggest things that would bother those people would be the black flies, mosquitoes, and the no-see-ums, the little midges that you can barely see. They would just drive the contestants crazy. So that's something to consider. Now, if they were to put it in the deserts of Nevada, somewhere near a water source like a river, the thing they'd have to contend with there, of course, would be mountain lions again, and possibly coyotes. But they'd also have to contend with rattlesnakes, scorpions, poisonous spiders, and other poisonous reptiles. So dehydration wouldn't be their only concern, for sure. Now, there have been some comments on YouTube wondering why they haven't chosen any women to go on this Alone Show. And I think that'll probably change with the second season. My regular viewers would know that on my channel I do like bushcrafting things and camping and whatnot. And I've checked my stats, and only about 18% of my viewers are women. So if that holds true like right across the genre, then only about 18% of the applicants may be women. I would imagine that a few women might get on this next season. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, back to what I learned. Well, last night's episode ended after day 22. So they've been out there for 3 weeks, plus a day. And for the last couple of weeks, there's only been 4 guys left. So that's Alan, Sam, Lucas, and Mitch. Now, the past couple of weeks have fast-forwarded quite a bit on the show. A lot of the predator issues happened during the first, the first 7 days, I guess, that the guys were out, and because of that, a lot of the guys dropped out early. Now, the last few weeks, like week 2 and week 3, and now like we're up to starting week 4, there really hasn't been much talk about predators. Now, I don't know if it's just a matter of the editors editing out, stuff. Oh, my water's boiling. Now, the predators, they don't seem to be around much the last couple of weeks. Or they may have just been edited out. I don't know. A lot has to do with, what the History Channel is trying to accomplish as far as, making the show interesting, that sort of thing. But anyway, it seems to me that the locations these guys are dropped off at, some of them, they just got really lucky. And they got dropped off in areas where there was resources on the beach, like food and water, and no predators. And then some of the other guys, unfortunate for them, they got dropped right next to a bear's den or a cougar's lair or whatever. Anyway, the guys that are left, with the exception of Mitch, I don't think that they've run into any large predators at all. So, good for them, not so good for some of the other guys. So that's kind of a luck of the draw sort of thing, I guess. So it's starting out with some bad luck like that, it doesn't really measure a guy's ability to live off the land or whatnot, So good luck or bad luck, luck has a lot to do with the outcome of the show. Now that the guys are there, going on to the fourth week, they really have to contend with loneliness. Some of the first guys, well, they talked about loneliness too during the first couple episodes. A couple of guys left pregnant wives at home, and a lot of them had, small kids. And so if you're thinking about them constantly, then yeah, you're not going to do so well. Now, Alan, in last night's episode, he was saying that although a lot of like survival manuals and stuff, they'll say, oh, you need this, you need that, and the other thing. But food you can do without for, up to 3 weeks. But last night, Alan said that if you had adequate food and your attitude was right, then you could last pretty much indefinitely. And I think that's true. Like the guys that are there now are all pretty much well fed. Now, Alan echoed a lot of Thoreau's mentality in the sense that it's not man against nature. It's just man living in harmony with nature. So you don't have that man versus wild kind of mentality. So it's not like you don't think of it as a struggle, you just think of it as living day to day, and it just happens to be in the woods, Now, Alan lends a lot of humor to his situation, which I think is going to help him tremendously, because it keeps his mind off of his wife and family at home, and everything else that sucks out in the woods, like 18 days of rain out of 22 days. That's pretty intense, And like he said, you've got to be comfortable, being with yourself. Now, a lot of people, when they pack their bug-out bags, they do add something in there just to ease the boredom. Like if you take a look at Les Stroud, for example, he packs a harmonica, and he plays the harmonica, and it makes him feel better, and passes the time away, and that sort of thing. Other people, what they do is they'll pack a deck of cards. You can play solitaire, or if you happen to be with someone else, you can, play whatever card games as well. But in most survival situations, you're not going to be there for days on end. You've got a search and rescue team out looking for you, for example, so you may only have to pass a couple of days. Now, the natives, when they couldn't go out and hunt or do other things around camp because the weather was too bad, they would call those tool-making days. So that's when they would nap their tool, like flint nap their tools, or make wooden spears and arrow shafts, and just that sort of thing. They would keep themselves occupied in a productive way, making things that they needed to make, weaving baskets and and processing leathers and you know, just all that kind of stuff. So anyway, last night's episode, episode 6, I found it to be quite entertaining, quite humorous. It was definitely Alan's episode, although Lucas was in there quite a bit as well. Yeah, anyway, it was a good episode. So, depending on how many more episodes are left, I'll probably be making a part 3 to this series. So until then, this is Muskrat Jim, signing out. Cheers. For more muskrat survival videos, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And visit muskratsurvival.com. You will find links to all my videos, blogs, favorite recipes, and an online store of Muskrat Survival branded products, such as caps, teas, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching.